Good afternoon, YouTube. So just wanted to make a short video today to show you one of our kind of unique products. This is actually something I came up with myself about 20 years ago. So these are what we call our emergency brake or e-brake extensions. So this here is an emergency brake actuating lever. This would normally be attached to your drum brake, and there's a lever right there. I've cut this one off just to use as a test piece, but the way the emergency brake works on the Toyota mini trucks, there's a cable that comes down to the middle of the axle and then attaches on this side and also attaches on the other side of the axle, and then it's pulled into the middle of the axle to actuate the brake. The problem is this pivot point is down in the middle of the drum, and then it's also behind the axle. And this cable goes over the leaf spring pack, and on a stock setup you've got usually 3 or 4 leaves on the four-wheel drive pickups and forerunners, and with that there's enough clearance here that this cable can clear the spring. So your cable would come over here and you could pull this lever in. But if you go to a thicker spring pack, now the top of this lever is below the level of the top of the springs, and so the cable rubs over here. Every time you pull the e-brake on, this steel cable is rubbing on the springs, and you often can't get the e-brakes to actuate. So that's one problem that you run into. So the one other issue you can run into on the Toyota four-wheel drive trucks is if you've got an 85 or earlier pickup or forerunner, your rear axle is 55 inches wide, and then if you have the newer 86 and later pickup or forerunner, the rear axle is 58 inches wide, or 3 inches wider, which means 1.5 inches on each side. If you're swapping a newer axle onto an older truck, you can do it. It bolts up perfectly. The spring perches are in the same position. It's just a little wider axle, and it's a bigger diameter axle tube. I think it goes from 2.5 to 3 inch diameter tube. So it's a stronger axle housing and very popular. I have one of those on my truck, for example. But with the e-brake, your e-brake cable stops here, and it's got a hook up here. You've got 1.5 inches between the e-brake lever and the end of the cable. So what you can do is we make this extension that can go over the top like that, and then you bring your e-brake cable up and drill a hole here wherever it needs to be, and then you just clip your e-brake cable in here, and then you use our supplied bolt through here to hold the extension onto the e-brake lever. That's how you work with the wider axle problem. And if you've got the taller spring problem, the fix there is you use our bracket this way and you slide it on with the bent side in, and then you put the bolt through there, and then you come up here as high as you need to clear your thicker springs. You know, maybe it's only this high, this high. You can go up to about 2 inches higher. We don't drill these because we don't know how tall your springs are. So anyway, you mark and drill your hole where you need it to be. This bent metal on the back side locks in against the e-brake lever, and then the bolt here locks everything, clamps it together tight, and then you just run your original e-brake cable with the pin and the cotter pin through here. That's then works your e-brake. You can solve 2 different problems, either taller springs or a wider axle, just by how you put this thing on. For instance, if you're getting a wider axle from a junkyard, grab the e-brake cable from the same vehicle, and it's already longer. But anyway, that's our product. So we have these for sale on our website. I'll put a link in the video description and in the end screen of the video. So yeah, these things work pretty well. I ran them on my truck for quite a while. I don't use them anymore because I have different brakes. I have disc brakes on my truck now, so I don't have one of these anymore, so I don't need the extensions. Yeah, that's our emergency brake extension. And I got to get these painted and in the mail today. We've got a couple of customers waiting for those. So anyway, if you have any questions about those, post up in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.